Hi, I'm David. I own and operate Country Whatnot Gardens here outside of Rochester, Indiana, which is about an hour south of the Michigan state line. I grow 25 different species and varieties of bamboo and also other things, the whatnot, right? Behind me is Hosta montana. This is a Japanese species of Hosta. This is wild type, just Hosta montana, naturally occurring species as it would be in the wild. And it gets decently large. The foliage is close to 2 foot tall and right now 3 feet across or so each clump. I have 3 clumps here, and they're not mature by any means. They've only been set in 3, I don't think 4 years yet, maybe. And they are starting to put on some scapes. You can see the bloom spikes, the scapes starting to come up here. Here's one, and there's another down there. There's another there. But these hostas are edible. To my knowledge, all varieties of hosta are edible, but they're not all grown commercially as a food crop in Japan. Hosta montana is the main one, I understand, that is grown commercially as a food crop in Japan. You can actually go to the grocery store and buy hosta shoots on a foam platter with cellophane wrap, cling film, like you would buy mushrooms or something here in the grocery store in the US. But they actually grow the shoots of this. Now, once they're leafed out like this, I believe they are past the point and too tough to chew. But when they're young shoots coming up in the spring, you can harvest the shoots when they're just out of the ground and tender. They taste something like asparagus. And or you can blanch them by, in this case, blanching not meaning boiling with water and then cooling them. Not that kind of blanching, but blanching from the sun as they're growing in the ground, which you would take a straw or something or otherwise cover the shoots, maybe with an upside down bucket as the shoots are growing to get them taller, but shaded from the sunlight so that they come up and they're very, very light green or nearly white because they haven't produced chlorophyll from being exposed to the sun, and that makes them more tender. And so you get larger shoots than you otherwise would just picking them under normal growing circumstances. But I want to get under here and show you how big around these crowns are on these. They're decently large. There they are compared to my hand. There's the crown would be that big. And then each individual eye here would be a shoot. So obviously in the spring when you come through and you want to harvest these, you wouldn't pick off every shoot from every hosta, right? You'd pick off a couple from this one and maybe a couple more from that one and a couple more shoots from the hosta down the way. But you don't want to completely strip the plants. That would be hard on them and it would stunt them and, adversely affect their growth. But harvesting a couple shoots from each plant, would be fine. But each eye here, you can, September or so for my growing zone, 5B is the time to lift these and divide them. You could lift these and with a sharp knife, cut these eyes and divide them at their division point underground, as long as each piece had enough roots to sustain it. And then you could have more plants. These do set seed since they're a wild plant. They're not sterile like some of the cultivated forms of hosta. But I did sow some seeds last fall and I have not had any come up yet. I will say they produce an absolute ton of seed. They really do, hundreds upon hundreds of seeds, which is great if you could get them to come up. But I tilled the soil, loosened it, and worked it, put the seeds in, covered them very, very lightly, and they went through winter so they could stratify, go through cold, that is. And I have not seen any come up yet. That's not to say they won't. I've just not seen them yet. So I might be down to just vegetatively propagating, asexually propagating these plants by division instead of by seed. But if you can multiply them by seed, it would obviously go a lot faster than division. But I can look down here and see this one's crown. Let's see if I can keep the leaves out of the way. Okay, there we go. You can see there would be division points between these eyes. This being an eye, and let's see, this being an eye. Each group of leaves being an eye, you could divide down between there as long as each eye has its own massive feeder roots. underneath it at its base, it would be good. But Hosta montana, another good plant to grow. I don't have it with bamboo here, but you could grow it in the shade with some sasas and stuff. It's probably, more than likely, I would suspect, not going to appreciate dry shade underneath some of the larger bamboos. I think it would need more moisture than that, because bamboo tends to suck up moisture from its soil pretty decently. But I enjoy it. It's not, it's not showy. It's not a showy hosta. It's not variegated. It's not a cultivated form, but it's still beautiful, and most importantly, it's useful. But look how glossy the leaves are in the sunshine since the sun just came out. Those are nice. Those are nice in their own right. If you liked the video, please give me a like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, thank you for stopping by, and take care.